All right. All right. Welcome to the Boss Chick Show with the beautiful Shay, the beautiful Muffin, and the beautiful Doctor.
Yes.
Okay. So lit. Okay. Well, we're making another video because, as always, my producer, Muffin,
Get started.
Shay, at the request of my producer, Muffin, she wanted us to talk about dating and relationships. And I thought this is a very, very important topic because the beautiful Shay is now 18. The beautiful Muffin is just turned 18, and they're getting ready to graduate from high school. And, you know, when you're in high school, having a boyfriend or having a significant other is extremely important. You know, everybody wants to have somebody to go to prom with or go on dates with.
Yeah.
And really it's important at any age because, you know, as girls, people are always asking us, you dating anybody? You got a boyfriend?
Right.
So it becomes extremely, and sometimes almost becomes like a little pressure because you feel almost like you're pressured to have somebody, you know. And so today we want to talk about what that's like and why we got to take some of the pressure off of ourselves. And I'm gonna let Muffin start us off because she brought up the subject. So go ahead, Muffin.
All right. I think when being in a relationship, you should know how you should be treated versus what you're not supposed to be treated like.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know, like, from your perspective, when do you know when to let go? Like, when to stop messing with somebody?
That's a real good question. I think that whether it's platonic or romantic, I think that you have to go by the old adage that people are in our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? Now, everybody that comes into our life, be they boyfriend or, you know, homegirl, everybody that comes into our life is not necessarily meant to stay in our lives. Sometimes it's a reason they come into our lives, right? And so you really got to look at that relationship and what that relationship has brought you, right? Now, if that relationship has been beneficial to you, like that person is causing you to grow because they're growing and they're pushing you to grow, that person is meant to be part of your life, right? Now, if that person is in some way causing you to be less than you are, they're causing you, they're the sort of person, they want to take up all your time, and every time you talk about your goals and your agendas and your passion and what you want to do, they always have something negative to say, then that person is somebody that we need to sort of try to get rid of in our life. We need to, that's even better word.
They
gotta go. They gotta go. Right?
Go ahead, Shay. You can't just be the only one wanting from somebody if they don't even want for themselves.
See you, because you know everybody loves the great Muffin. I think, I'll say this, ladies, right? I think Shay makes an awesome point. You cannot be the only person that wants something for somebody, right? Because the thing is that people don't change people, God changes people, right? Like if I force, let's say for instance that I'm on a health kick, right? And now all of a sudden, if Shay my little chubby friend and I want Shay to work out with me, if Shay doesn't want that thing for herself, then she'll only make temporary changes for me as her friend, right? Because I'm pushing her. However, in order for Shay to make some sort of lifelong changes, whether it's losing weight, whether it's going to school, whether it's getting a better job, whatever it is, it has to be something that comes from the inside, right? It has to be an innate desire. Only God can give innate desires. So in order for that change to occur, I can't force you to do it, right? Now, what I can do is I can walk away from people who are not inspired or motivated on their own. Now, do I think that we should help to empower, you know, our significant other? Very much so. But if I want something more for you than you want it for yourself, eventually I'm going to become drained, and you're going to become more of a distraction than something else.
Exactly, and that's how it feels like.
Well, I think the thing is, because I don't want to just, I think sometimes it's very easy for friends and adults and other folks to tell you, oh, just leave the boy alone, walk away, right? But I think that's something you got to pray about, because it seems like you already know what decision has to be made. Because if I'm going to include Shay in this again, I think that a lot of times with any of the relationships that we get into, let's be honest, ladies, we know when that thing needs to be cut off, don't we?
Yeah.
We do. Like for you, like what's usually something in you is like, come on now, it's time to let this thing go.
I mean, I feel like I'm going through that right now too, because like you know how when you're dating,
Okay.
like you can date anybody you want to, because they don't own you.
Right,
That's like
right.
how my mindset is. But like if you like constantly know that you want to talk to this person over that person, don't hold that person on. Like keep bringing them on and so forth. Like you know that's through, let it go, because you know like you'll know if some flick in your head. Like Shay, come on now, you don't even want this boy. Like
Right,
don't even do that, because people you can like
Hurt
really
their
hurt
feelings.
them, yes,
Yeah.
and they become mentally.
And that's what I
broken
try not to
inside.
do. Yeah, that's what I try not to do, like hurt my boyfriend's feelings. Like I was trying to help him with a job application. He didn't want me to help him. But then when I look at the paper, it was like,
Come on, what is this?
yeah, like you should just ask me for help. Like he got mad. I don't want you to help me, bro.
I went through something like that. Like,
But I'm only trying to help you because I have a job and had plenty of jobs too.
And 'cause
The
you
experience I
care.
could help you.
Right.
It's kind of like he want to do it on his own. I see that, but you know what I'm saying. When somebody trying to give you help, just take it.
Well, see, but this is the other thing, though. You got to understand a man's pride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of
That's
times, as a man, one of the things he wants to do is he wants to be able to do a thing on his own, and it becomes a very sort of hurtful thing to always have to ask somebody else to help, right? Now, but I think the bigger thing is, though, is I think that you know whether or not you're supposed to go forward with a person, leave that person where they are, or leave that person in your past, right? And I think that sometimes the thing that prevents us from letting go of people who we need to let go of is this fear of being alone, right? And what I think we got to do is, number one, I think we got to start to learn how to realize our self-worth. Because when you realize your self-worth, it's a whole lot of stuff you're not going to accept, just period, right? Like, I give you an example. I realize that, you know, Dr. Hall is lit.
Yeah.
It's real in the streets. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dime. Hey, got it going on. What? So there's certain things that I'm just not going to tolerate, right?
Yeah.
And people will tell me, "Oh, you're just being too picky."
Yeah.
You know, he's a nice person. He can pray real good. You know. No, I don't care. I don't
It's
care
not
if
about
he.
that.
I don't care if he can pray like Benny Hinn. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't care if he can pray like T.D. Jakes. You know, if I don't like him, I'm not going to force myself to,
Right.
simply because
He could be my
somebody.
friend,
He could be my friend,
Right.
but simply because somebody says, "Well, you don't want to be by yourself," I don't care what other folks say, right?
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I have got to be happy, right? And not just happy, but I have to live a life of purpose. And how can I live a life of purpose when I'm constantly holding on to stuff and people that are holding me back, right? Simply because I'm trying to please others. And that's not how we want to live our lives.
it's not their relationship.
There we
first
go.
of all.
There we go.
It's
You
not
know.
their relationship.
And what I don't want for you guys is I don't want for you to get involved in relationships because you feel pressure from other people, even your friends, right? Girl, you ain't dating nobody. You ain't got nobody. Guess what? You 18. Right now is the best time of your life because you're thinking about what colleges you want to go to, what cities you want to live in when you get through with school. These are the sorts of things that you should be thinking about. You know, dating somebody, I mean, that's good, right? Y'all are pretty girls, you know, and I think that you should date. But where I think we complicate the issues, and not necessarily you guys, but I think where we complicate the issues is we get too involved, right?
Yeah.
I know young ladies who are 17 and 18 years old, and they're living with the boyfriend, they're taking care of the boyfriend, and they almost become like mothers to the boyfriend. I don't want a man, I gotta be a mama to.
Exactly. And
Oh my
that's
God.
you gotta stop right there. You gotta
You
stop.
know,
Grandma.
right? I
Stop
don't want to
right
be your
there.
mama.
Don't keep going. Just
Right.
start. Cause
Stop.
you can't raise a man.
What? Oh, let me stop. All right. We gonna be silly because Shay real prissy. Me and Muffin silly, so okay. However, I think it's extremely important that we sort of learn what our worth and what our value is, and I also think it's important that you learn what you don't want, right?
Yeah.
You gotta know what you don't want, right? Like, I give an example. Like, some people say, you gotta know what you want. You also gotta know what you don't want, right?
Right.
Like, I remember growing up in the hood, and I would look around me and I would say to myself, I don't want to live like this, right? I don't want to live check to check, hand to mouth, and this sort of thing. And there's nothing wrong, and this is not making some sort of statement of judgment about people that do, but for me, it meant that I had to work just that much harder. It was a motivator because I understood what it was going to take for me to live a certain way, right? And not to say that I'm rich or whatever. I am rich. Let me say that, because we speak of those things that are not as though they were, right? I am rich. I'm balling. You know what? We all balling. 'Cause you work for this. Okay, we all, you know.
Got money for days.
Okay, we're going to speak it till it happens. Okay, we faith it until we make it, okay? But I think it's really important that we know what we don't want. Yeah. And then in knowing what we don't want, we work toward what we do want, right? So I know I don't want to be broke, right? So that means that what I do want to do is I want to now work on avenues that make me money. I know that I don't want to have friends that don't want things out of life. So what I got to do is I got to make a circle of friends who are working toward having things, friends that have goals, friends that have agendas, right? I know that I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to have a baby when I'm a teenager, right? So what I do want to do is I want to make safe and responsible decisions. And some part of that means that sometimes I got to delay gratification because I understand that in order for me to get what other folk don't have, I have to do what other folk refuse to do.
Right.
And a big part of that, closing our legs, that's hard. But it's got to happen. It's real. Keep it right, keep it short. You know? And I just think it's so important because, like, I love my ladies because they're so transparent, and I try to be transparent with them. And I think it's so important because at the end of the day, you know, I'm not one of those sort of people say, you don't need a man. You can do it by yourself. I think if God didn't want us to like boys, he wouldn't have made them so cute.
Right.
Come on now.
Come on. Like,
church, tabernacle. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have made them so cute if he didn't want us to like them.
Look what it did.
Okay now. You know Adam was cute. Come on. You know it. Come on now. Okay? However, I think that what is important is that we prioritize, right? The thing we can't always, the first thing on our mind as young ladies, and as we're trying to grow and mature and become better and establish ourselves and figure out who we are and the purpose for which God created us, we can't always be boys.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the problem because even when we're not that, somebody else is always on us. Boys. As if nothing else exists.
Right.
You know, Shay want to be a fashion designer. What about, Shay, what you been doing to work toward your goal? She go up grandmama in them house, auntie asking, they so busy asking about a boyfriend, they ain't asking nothing about the future. Nothing. Right? Muffin got all kind of plans. Muffin want to be a doctor, own businesses, all kind of stuff.
I'm not letting nobody stop that.
But everybody, instead of asking you about that, people asking, so you dating anybody? You got a boyfriend?
Right.
Like, that's not the only thing. And I think that what happens is that sometimes we acquiesce. Acquiesce means to give in to. We acquiesce to other folks' demands simply because they put pressure on us to feel this societal norm of what a teenage girl and what even a woman should be and do. And we cannot let folks pressure us. You know, to be a leader, to be somebody who does great things, we can't be afraid to stand out and stand up. And that means we're going to have some folk that don't like us. I got a lot of haters.
But I mean,
I do too.
It do be like sometimes your mom though. Like I had a couple of people to come to me and be like, "Oh, my mom hate on me and all that because I got this going on and that going on." Like I really feel like that's messed up. But I don't want to say me and my mom like that because she wants me to do better. She give me compliments every day. You a pretty girl. Like we getting that bun, something like that. But like, she don't like the fact that I'm growing up, so I can't be around boys. Like, it's just a mess. Like, and not like I want to be around boys all the time, but it's like I don't really like hanging with females because I don't really got no friends like that. So like,
you know what? Now you done put another card on the table, right?
Because I need to know this.
Okay.
Like, and I don't want to disrespect her and like go behind her back and do something like that. So I don't know how to talk to her. Like, I told her this before. I was like, me and you gonna really have some issues about me growing up and stuff. Because sooner or later,